So I'm huge on living authentically with community and being intentional in how you spend your time and with who you spend your time. It's taken me some time to get to this point, and I'm really happy to say that I've been lucky enough to find a group of people that have that same sense of thought process of intentionality like me. And today, I have one of my tribe members, my friend, who sets a great example of how to live with intention in this very fast moving world. So let's welcome April to Just Real Talk. And I'm so excited to have you today. Hi, April. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here. We've been trying to plan this for so long and we keep getting sick.
I know, it's fine. It's totally fine. I blame the weather.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a list of questions prepared for you, and I'm so excited to get started on them. Before that, how's your weekend been?
Honestly, my week has been just all over the place. The beginning of the year is always tricky because it's when a lot of my clients are trying to figure out what to do next for the year. I'm in immigration, so it requires a lot of planning for people who want to stay. So very busy, but
Very busy.
I really can't complain.
Yeah, you do it all. I see that. I do want to talk about, being intentional, living with the community and being authentic, which is something I saw very much the first time I met you, and especially when, you host.
Yeah.
And that's something we can get into as we go through the episode. But this is something I really wanted to talk to you about. And hosting seems like a big part of your overall energy. Where does that come from for you?
You know what's funny is every single time I host, I'm always like, I'm never doing this again. And
Why is that?
Gravitating towards it because the stress part, of course, of the planning and wanting to get everything right, that feels overwhelming at the time. But when I have this vision of how I want the people around me to experience, being with me and celebrating together, I just have to have it. It's this hunger inside me that I'm no, the people that I'm celebrating with, they have to have the best, so I have to just make it right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have always gravitated towards hosting, and just most importantly, finding a way to celebrate with people because it's so boring here. You work, you go to sleep. Where's the razzle dazzle? Where's the party?
Yeah. Yeah, I also feel like the life today is so fast moving.
Yeah.
And you need to stop and connect truly within yourself. And I feel like you do that. Your hosting, especially something I actually wanted to talk about, is it brings people together. You don't just host and have these grand things. I feel like you host with a vision in mind. Every single time you've done that, especially one of the times, I'll tell you a story. April hosted this palm reading thing. It's a thing where she brought people in to exclusively read your palms. And I honestly have never had that experience at a friend's. I've obviously gone to a palm reading place, but having somebody hand pick a lot of things.
I find just going out to grab coffee is, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think in growing up and trying to form more meaningful friendships, you have to really be purposeful with the kind of time that you spend with people. And before it was just, let's get together, talk some shit. And now I'm no, I want you guys to experience what I'm interested in so you can learn more about me and kind of introduce my world. And then we all feel more connected,
Yeah, I actually did. I felt definitely more connected with you as a person. I understood you. But I also wanted to actually ask you, do you see hosting and bringing people together as a spiritual practice in itself? And because you put so much intention into the details, from that handmade gifts to thoughtful gatherings every single time. So I'm just curious, where did you get that from? Did you grow up with that, or is it something that you wanted as you grew up to be an adult?
I definitely have been searching for a community. I mean, community in any sense of the word is super important. It's not just about a sense of belonging. It's about, finding people that you connect to that help bring the better side of you out.
Yeah.
And once I decide that I like people, because I don't like a lot of people, but once I decide that I like
I mean, a lot of us.
I want to celebrate that, and I want to make sure that you feel important in my life, because a lot of the times we don't let people know enough how important they are.
Yeah.
And so I've searched far and wide for a kind of community like the one we have now, and I'm so
Yeah.
incredibly grateful for it. So it's not something that I can take for granted, and that feeds me a lot spiritually. I would like to think that I have always been that kind of person. I do remember, like, even in my high school friendships, trying to express that side of me, and maybe it wasn't always like well received, because I had a idea of myself that maybe I was like a little bit too much. I was like extra for wanting to go above and
Yeah.
beyond for people, and it made me realize that maybe some people are not ready to receive the kind of
Yeah.
love that I have to offer. So I like toned it down for a while, and then in trying to be more my authentic self, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna love people how I want to love them, and if they're not ready to receive that, that's okay. But at least I'm not dimming myself down just to
Yeah.
make other people comfortable.
So do you see, I'm huge on, like, I do see that nurturing side of you. I have that in me too. Like, in your terms, like, how would you describe, do you see nurturing as a love language? How did you learn to, like, express it that way? Like, did you learn it from a parent figure or somebody, one of your friends? Like, somebody has to see something for them to think that, okay, I want to do it in a different way. Or were you born with it?
I have, I guess, my parents to thank for that. My mom, especially, she is a known advocate for the community. She came to Canada very early on and started a caregiver support group, people who are new to Canada, wanting to start their lives, not knowing how to navigate the immigration process, abuse from employers, separating from your family,
Yeah.
and handling like your partner cheating on you because you've been long distance for so long. So
Yeah.
she created this group, this community, and she really like nurtured all these women and empowered them and made them feel important. And that was kind of what my childhood was like, going to these events. One time helping my mom literally like break out a caregiver who was trapped in a basement. Like, she was locked
Yeah.
into a basement, so we had to find a way to
Wow.
get out. Yeah, it was, that was
That's trauma.
yeah. So I had strong examples of how to care for people and how to uplift people. And so yeah, I thought that was the norm, and I rolled with it because that's what felt good in me.
Yeah.
And my dad, he's just like a big old emotional ball. And so he helped me become a little bit more emotionally open. It was a side that I couldn't get from my mom. Like, she's very much like a stoic lady. So I was glad
Yeah.
to be able to get it from my dad. And it's just a good combination to raise a pretty good kid, I think.
Yeah, of course. And I feel that, I'm not sure, like, a lot of, like, my upbringing was totally different in the sense that I was not, like, I saw how nurturing, like, my grandma and my mom and my aunts and everybody were, but they never let me do anything. Like, in the sense that, like, they wouldn't let me, like, cook or anything of that sort. Everything was, like, so I felt, like, very much, like, pampered, like, growing up. So for me, like, when I moved out, it was much of a, like, learning process. Like, I had to, like, be in situations, like, you know, be with people, to see every single, like, what's the right way of being, till I finally understood, like, okay, this is how I like myself. And I learned, like, certain things of being a nurturer, like, when am I giving too much, when am I giving too little, like that. I would say, like, but yeah, looking back, it's like it just came to you, like, for me too. It just came, like, from life, from experience, from living on your own and everything. So I guess, like, that's how, like, every single person, like, you know, evolves.
My question though is, like, because you mentioned that sometimes you feel like you would be giving too much. Like, how does one even like realize?
No, right?
Because I still don't know.
Gifts, I think the right people would appreciate it, but I also learned that sometimes you can give too much to the wrong person, and you don't know, like, if it's right or wrong. You kind of get used to it. But I think with the right people, like, when you with the see how much that's been appreciated versus in the past, you think that's normal. That's like a way of being.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, I think it correlates with being with the right kind of people who are ready to receive what you're willing to give. If that looks like over giving to one person, and if that looks like under giving or does not matter to somebody else. Yeah. So I think that ties back to being with the right people, being with the right crowd, being with the right community who accept you and see your gifts. And I think that's huge. Like even you supporting me today on my podcast is a very giving thing for you to do. So I really appreciate that in you. What do you hope people feel when they receive something you've created or hosted? Like, what's the natural feeling that you're looking for? Like, because I know like you would sometimes do it like for yourself. Sometimes you also want to see somebody happy. So what's your take on that?
I mostly do it for myself. Is that
I love the honesty though.
well, it's true because before, I guess, started getting into doing these things for people, hoping that it would get reciprocated. And it wasn't, and I would just get disappointed. But there was always a part of me that, kept wanting to do it. Like, that's just who I am. And so I let go of the idea of that everything I do needs to be reciprocated.
Expectations.
By the right people, it should be. But I give now because it makes me feel good.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, that is purely selfish reason. Sometimes when I'm feeling super, super down, I go out, I give out money, I give out food, I give out whatever I can give out just to make someone's day, because their energy of just smiling, of realizing that someone cares for them, like it feeds so much that makes me feel better. So I don't know. I think that's selfish, but I'm into it. Okay.
I think the way you put it like makes perfect sense. I think people need to also do a lot of things because they want to do it versus there's an expectation on them, which is something I think you embody yourself very much. Like you want to do it. Nobody's like forcing you to like do anything, and that makes you happy. So that's a different way of looking at it, and that's a very good quality, I feel. And yeah, back to manifestations, you're really big on that, not just the idea of it but actually living it. We won't get into the details of what it was, but she's good. She does it. So how did manifestation like first show up in your life ever?
Yeah, I feel like it started, I want to say near the end of the pandemic, like end of 2020 or early 2021. I was going through a lot of mental health problems, and I was looking to just improve one way or another. And I had started my TikTok algorithm was the one that brought it to me first, of just people talking about like changing your mindset and getting what you want. And at first it was purely because like, oh, I want to get more money, so I'm going to start manifesting more money. And it became this complete like 180 shift on how I think about everything. It brought me gratitude, it brought me peace, it brought me confidence, and I've just been continuing to feed into it and practice it because the life that I have right now is insane. I feel so incredibly lucky, so incredibly just fulfilled, and I've allowed the things in my life to flow to me the way it's supposed to, and without much resistance. And it's literally magic. Like there's no other way to explain it because I didn't really work that hard to get where I am.
I mean, that's a mindset I feel like people should have, and be grateful for what they have right now, because gratitude brings more things to be grateful about in life. I feel you start seeing more positives than negatives, so that's a great way of putting it.
But what about you though? I feel like you have also gotten a lot into like manifestation, but
you don't know. I mean, I think it just happened. I came here as a student, right? So being a student very early on, doing things by yourself, I think you have this almost hunger, like I have to get to this point. So I have this very much goals. Obviously, my goals weren't like how I have right now, like vision board kind of goals. I had like goals that this has to happen, and I would just think it like I need to like have my own apartment next to the beach. I need to do this, and like it just happened, like and after it happened is when I actually looked back and I was like, wait a minute, it's all happening out. Like it's all working out for me, just like how I wanted it to. And
Mhm.
I never like actually kept track of it. But looking back, every single thing that I wanted has been happening, not the way I wanted, but even better. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's how it happened. And that's how I started believing. And wait a minute, like if you add a little bit more like intention into it, I think you could make anything happen, right? Like you're very grateful for your life. I think I'm a little bit like that too, where I'm very grateful for every little thing that's been happening to me. And yeah, I couldn't ask for anything more so far. Obviously there's like, things that affects you on your daily life, but that's out of our control. Because you've been involved with manifestation from such a young age, what do you think is the most misunderstood thing about manifesting?
I think a lot of people believe that manifesting comes from a place of want, and it's not. Because what I find is when you kind of, the way I do it is I put out this message to the universe, and on times where I feel really desperate, like I really need this one thing, like I want it so bad, it doesn't come as quickly. But when
Yeah.
I show gratitude for what I already have, and I'm in a mindset of it would be nice to have it, but I'm really doing great, like as I am right now,
Yeah.
then it
Yeah.
flows to me a lot faster and a lot easier.
Mm. Yeah.
Because I think when you have this place of want, you almost have a lack mindset of like, if I
Yeah.
don't have it, my life is
Yeah.
ruined. And
Yeah.
that's not a good place to be in. It's very low vibrational. And so, yeah, when you are more relaxed about the things that you deserve, not that
Yeah.
what you want, but what you deserve, things just happen a lot easier.
Yeah. 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 I think that's such a good way of looking at it. I feel like the more it's the same, right? It's like a cat. Like you
The more
chase a
excited.
cat, it runs away. You stay, it comes to you. How much of manifestation do you think is intentional and how much is action and trust? It's basically just what you said, but I want to kind of like, break it down for people who are new to this.
I think the base of it has to be faith and trust that everything is going to work out exactly how it's supposed
Yeah.
to work out for you.
Yeah.
A lot of the times when I start having all these issues that I think of in my head, I'm like, it's none of my business. It's none of my business how it's going to get
Yeah.
solved. I actually don't know. And that's the fun part. Like, it's none of my business. I trust that everything's going to work out. And my job is to look at what's in front of me and try to find the next action that I need to take. So, of course,
Yeah.
part of it is moving towards the goal that you want, but realizing that the hard part isn't for you to do. The hard part
Yeah.
is for the universe to just put in front of you and you decide how you want to react to it.
Yeah. I think that's also like very good. I was actually about to add like how one of my past episodes I was talking about how your life is already laid out to you. You just don't know it, yet. And when you try to like push through it, you're just making the universe like wait longer. Just let it happen and it'll come to you faster. And sometimes it's good to have like negative experience because that grows you too. I feel like there's this misconception that spirituality means you're always in a high vibration, which is not always the case, right? Like, yeah, you think optimistically, but you also need to have some of these growth experiences for you to evolve as a human
Yeah.
being. Like, it's all about evolution.
Yeah, we have the law of polarity that says that what is up must come down, what's down must come up. And so when you're having a good day every single day, that becomes your baseline. And it's the similar way of like people who win the lottery and you would expect that they'd be happier than most people, but actually they get used to it and their
Yeah.
baseline happiness is the same as someone who's literally broke. Um, you need to make space
Yeah.
for the learning lessons and the downs, because especially during that time, I like to think like, oh, it's only up from here. And
Yeah.
it helps me maintain a more positive outlook on it. And it makes me think like, okay, what's the lesson here? And
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
changed my mindset so much that I'm like, I'm no longer thinking like, oh, why is this happening to me? And instead I'm like, okay, what do I need to learn here?
I've changed that too. Like
Yeah.
I used to, like there used to be a point I'm like, oh, why is this happening to me? Then I got to a point where I'm like, Yeah, like looking at my past, like everything has actually turned out to be pretty good. Do rituals, crystals, or like handcrafted items like play a role in grounding your manifestation? Like,
Yeah,
what do you think?
I definitely have a big crystal collection. I don't fully understand the science behind it, but for me, if there's another thing, another trinket, another person that helps me believe a little bit deeper and
Yeah.
helps me hold on to my faith a little bit longer, then why not keep it?
Yeah.
I do like
Yeah.
so many like woo-woo things. I talk to trees, I talk to clouds, I like talk to my car. I'm connecting myself with every material and spiritual thing that's around me.
Hmm.
And that is kind of my little rituals.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be a little woo woo to survive this world right now,
Yeah.
especially. Like, I hug trees too when the weather's good.
Someone figured
So,
out-
yeah, I'm with you on that. Okay. So, as a queer person, did embracing your identity help you live more intentionally and authentically from who you were in the past to who you are right now? Like, where do you see that like happening in your life?
Yeah, I would say yes. I was very like internally homophobic before I came
Mm.
out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing a lot of self-sabotaging things. Like I was very involved with men. And I realized that I was almost, yeah, I was like, it was a form of self-harm at that point
Yeah.
because
Right.
something inside me didn't feel right. And I didn't know how else to cover it up. So the moment that I was finally able to accept who I am, it was like a whole world opened. I really sat with myself and said, okay, this doesn't change who you are.
Yeah.
Actually, this makes you cooler.
Yeah. Yeah. Always, yeah. I think being yourself is just you just become more cool automatically. Don't care like, what others think about
Yeah.
you. And I think that's the point that you're at right now. I see that in you. You're very open.
Yeah.
Very open person. How has being in queer relationships taught you about self-trust, communication, and showing up fully as yourself?
I would say that my current relationship right now is actually, sorry to my exes, but like the first relationship that I was able to authentically build. This was the person that I looked at and I said she deserves the best version of myself. And so I will work on myself. I will fight my inner demons. I will improve because that's who she deserves. Yeah, she has helped me in so many different ways where I can be there for her 100%, or when I'm at 0%, then she's there for me 100%. And it's this give and take
Yeah.
and it's softness that I was never able to get in my male relationships.
Right.
And it's this feeling of just being present for each other and
Yeah.
no judgment, just complete utter love. Oh my God, my heart literally
No,
wants
be open. Be open. Yeah.
it because I hold so much love for my partner right now, and I'm beyond excited to live this life with her and beyond terrified that one of us is gonna die.
That's just life.
Yeah,
I mean, let's
know,
not
I'm
go
like,
there.
oh my God, no, because now I'm not even
Yeah,
scared,
yeah.
like, what if my partner cheats on me or what if my partner lies to me? I'm like, no, I just don't want her to die.
Oh my god, that's cute. I also noticed like there's this innocence to both of you when you're together. Like you're just open, which is like I think a great quality to have in a relationship, especially healthy ones. You just openly say whatever it is, even if it's in front of like 10 other people, which is like such a good thing. I don't see that you're hiding anything, so there's nothing there
Yeah,
to.
we had to work a lot on the
Trust.
communication because
Yeah.
we have like kind of the different culture. Like I grew up in Canada, she grew up in the Philippines, and the way
Yeah.
that we communicate, the way that I communicate to her is very too straightforward when we first started.
Yeah.
The way she communicates is very like timid, and so we had to learn to find the balance.
Yeah.
And now we're very open, which we're very proud of because we tried really hard to get to this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun.
That's cute. Very cute. Yeah, I mean, I've met Net, obviously, and she's really sweet, a really sweet person in person, too. You've built a life around helping other people, like, get a new life here in Canada, immigrate, while also navigating your own journey. You have your inner demons going on. And what kind of courage did that take for you to trust yourself through that navigating journey of doing one thing somebody else is trusting their life, with you, and then you are doing it by yourself. Like, how did you navigate that?
Honestly, I never wanted to do this.
What brought you into this?
My
Yeah.
mom, actually. So like I said before, like she was an advocate for an immigrant community. And so she kind of became well known and started working with immigration lawyers. So at 15, and when all my friends were working at Tim Hortons, I was working at a law office, doing all these
Yeah.
paperwork, learning about it. And I kept trying to get away from it. I go law office, then I tried working at Sobeys, and then I got law office again. Then I tried working as an admin clerk, law office again, and then every time I kept trying to get away from it, it kept coming back to me.
Yeah.
And it was when I was working at a law clerk at an immigration firm, and then I got fired, and I was like, maybe this is really not for me. So I decided to go to the Philippines just to reset, and for the first time ever, listen to what I want.
Yeah.
Because I found that like my whole life leading up to it, people were telling me what I should want.
Mm-hmm.
And when I sat and I listened and I meditated and I said, there's no escaping it. Like, this is who you are. And it's not that I don't like helping people. It is one of the very few things that are very like fulfilling in the job,
Yeah.
I've helped people like stop getting deported. I've helped people reconnect with their children, with their partners, help people start lives. People are engineers, doctors now. So it's fulfilling for sure. But the pressure of like, you sold your house to come here and now I gotta help you stay. Like, it is a lot.
It is a lot.
And I think maybe for the most part, it was the lack of confidence I had that I could help them. I thought, like, why me? Why am I the person that has to do this for you?
Yeah.
And it came with practice. And now I feel more confident in myself that, like, I know what I'm doing. And I know that because also in our industry, there's a lot of scammers, like people who are just trying to make money off of these new immigrants, which is horrible. So the fact that I can play my part as someone who is genuine and sincere and with an advocate background, I can be one of the good ones, and that's enough for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think you're doing a great job from what I see.
Yeah.
Do you like do this all by yourself, or do you have somebody else like helping you with it?
So
Like
before it was just my mom and I. She was more on like the marketing side, and I got licensed as an immigration practitioner when I was like 21 years old. Now, especially since I went to the Philippines, I decided to just take a more hands-on approach, and I built a team to help me navigate through all of this. So I have some people in the Philippines helping me, but my mom is retired. I told her, get some rest. She's deserving of it. And I've just been leading it, and it's been thankfully working out really well so far.
I think autonomy is a huge thing when you want to live intentionally and authentically, especially like I know that from working corporate, like I have to switch jobs the moment I feel that it's losing autonomy. I'm losing autonomy over something. So I get it. I think it must be like very fulfilling. Obviously it comes with pressure, but I think doing something by yourself that you're passionate about is one of the best things you could do for your soul, I think, for for it to be happy.
There's definitely a lot of like negatives when it comes to this job because you're self-employed. So I work 24/7. I'm answering emails at 3 a.m. I'm taking phone calls like late hours of the night. But I also found myself like anytime I tried to enter like a 9 to 5 kind of position, I just hated it. Like it just did not feel like me at all. And that's just who like I was. Like I have a lot of friends who crave the 9 to 5 because you get structure, you get stability, and that's amazing for them. But I just couldn't fit into that mold. So now I just work 24.
I mean, if it works for you, it works for you, and it makes you happy by the end of the day. I think once you get that taste of self-employment and you get that autonomy, it's very hard for you to go back. I kind of struggled with that too, because there was a point that I did work as an independent contractor, and it was like how you said, there was no work hours, but there was that risks, and that there was also monetary reward. But I knew that, this is what I think I like in terms of the flexibility. You still you take time to figure this out, like what actually works for you, and like for good thing you figured it out yourself, like that this works for you. But I do know like a couple of people, like some of my friends who are still like, what should I do? But they do want to do it, but they haven't still landed on a footing yet. So this will be a good thing for them to see and be like, just take it, just take a risk, and maybe you'll land it, maybe you'll find it. What spiritual lessons did starting over teach you about control, surrender, and faith in yourself?
I think starting over was the best thing that could have happened to me, in the sense that I finally got what I wanted. Like I was saying before, like my life was full of just people telling me what I should want, what I should do. There were already so many expectations from me at a young age. And so I received them. Like I'm the type of person that absorbs other people's words really easily, and so it was difficult to escape from it. So when I had the chance to be alone and to really think about what I want my life to look like and who I want to be as a person, and how I want to show up for the world, it was eye-opening and a little bit intimidating, because I realized that I do have big plans for myself, and I wasn't sure if I could accomplish it. But for the most part, it had a lot to do with healing my inner child as well. Like there were so many things that little April could have wanted or could have gotten. I want to say, like, right now I'm playing it all out day by day. So
that means like that's growth, right? Like if you know exactly what's gonna happen, it's too safe. So I often feel like you have to go through uncertainty for you to fully experience life. If you knew everything, that means that there's no fun, you know. You kind of it becomes like a structure thing that you said, like the 9 to 5 thing. You already know what's gonna happen. It's not gonna be fun anymore. But when there's the level of uncertainty, like you said, it's gonna be fun. Life is gonna like surprise you in a lot of ways, and you get to make the choices that'll make you the future you today. The first time you hosted, I noticed something about you, that is like you have this gift of bringing out people's inner child. Like, why do you think like joy and play are such important parts of healing? Because I know for sure, like every single time you host, I leave out like so happy and giddy.
It makes me so happy. Honestly, I'm gonna go dark for a second, but
go all dark.
I did not have a great childhood. We were well below the poverty line. I experienced physical abuse, mental abuse, all the abuses, and so I lived in a very restricted childhood. Where I was basically at a point of just trying to survive. So when I finally reached a state of no longer needing to survive, but just thriving, living, and doing a lot of therapy, and having my therapist first introduce me to the concept of like talking to your inner child and finding out what she wants and how she wants to heal, I find it best because I believe that my authentic self is still that little April. Like she knew from the very beginning what she wanted, and so I like to follow her sometimes. And so now that I'm in this position where I can feel safe and I can feel like I won't get judged or hurt by anybody, I'm just gonna have fun. Like life is so boring when you're just trying to be an adult. Yo, paperwork. But I gotta go to the dentist again. No, you need to add like whimsy into your life. You need to add fun. You need to add silliness, because it reminds you that you were just once a kid. Play, not necessarily like I have like coloring books, I have like puzzles, I have so many different hobbies and trinkets, because the adult life is so overbearing sometimes that you just need a break. And you need to sometimes help other people like experience that too, because I see it in a lot of people where they're very much stuck in this like, oh, this is who I'm supposed to be now, Ralph in accounting. I'm like, no, you're not. You're Ralph that like Lego and NASCAR and all this stuff. So like, why not bring it out? It's a form of healing, and it's a form of therapy almost that a lot of people don't pay attention to.
I agree. I very much so agree. That's such a lovely way of like putting it. And it shows that you've been through enough that you want to make sure that anybody who comes in your vicinity has a good time. And if you have that chance, you definitely show it to people. And I feel like I think that's a really good quality to have, because I feel like anybody can host, but to host, making sure that every single person feels something is a different kind of hosting, which is something I think you do really well.
Thank you.
I'm excited for the next hosting next week. So I'll see you next week in person. What do you think happens since you've done your healing and you've done your part? What do you think happens to adults when they allow themselves to be kids, play, like present themselves in a certain way without any kind of, this external expectation, and they celebrate? Like, what do you think happens to them energetically when they allow themselves?
Honestly, I want to say that there's two sides to this, because there's the inner child that wants to play and connect and be loved, but there's also an inner child that maybe felt unseen, unappreciated, threatened. And so when you see adults fully throwing tantrums, you can tell that that's your inner child that at one point didn't feel like they were being listened to, or being misunderstood. So it more has to do with kind of picking and choosing. Exactly, like, because you've met like childish people.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
And
yeah.
it's not always a good thing to let your inner child out.
No. Yeah.
But for the most part, when you connect with who you were, you communicate kind of, you have to almost parent yourself. This is how I've looked at it. So I when I do my meditations, I'm walking along a lake. I have my inner child on my left. I have my highest self on my right. And we are just having a meeting. We're like, okay,
you have a whole process.
I have a team, and it's just me. And I'm saying, okay, this is where I'm at in my life. What am I supposed to do? My inner child brings out, okay, like the curiosity, the optimism, and then my higher self brings the confidence and the faith. And together it just creates like the best like therapy I could ever think of.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. That's very sweet. I think a lot of people need to connect like to their inner child more. I think that will solve half of their problems.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's such a good way of like looking at yourself too. If you could leave the listeners with one reminder about living authentically and intentionally, what would it be?
That's a big question.
Take your time.
People, there's so many things. I think the biggest thing that I need people to realize is your life, I don't want to say doesn't matter. It's already laid out for you. I think you already spoke on this too. Like, just relax. You know deep inside you what your life is supposed to look like. If you truly, truly search internally, you know what it's supposed to look like. Your job now is to just sit back and let it happen, because we're in this like timeline and you're literally just moving through it. That's why I say just relax. That's it.
Yeah. Relaxing. Yeah, honestly, I was just talking to somebody else who's like a little bit older than me, and they were just telling me, Ron, like, life just becomes at 40. And I'm just like, what? Like, they're like, yeah, you are like baby right now. Like, there's nothing to stress and everything. And there's this one person, they know what the right thing to say is all the time. So like, she's one of my friends, and that is so true though. I feel like people stress over nothing. Like, when you think about it, 2 days after, that was nothing.
Yeah.
If you had just sat down and let that feeling pass, I think you would basically just solve the whole thing. Sometimes I think this world pushes urgency. Even like in job descriptions, you see like, oh, work under pressure. But I think that also, because you spend so much time in this structured world, like it makes people that way. In a way that everything is urgent.
Yeah.
Like, you have to get back to them right away. Versus like, I am practicing this more now, where if something feels urgent, that one thing, I take more time, because I know that it's not urgent.
Yeah.
If, there's always time. And I think when you take that time to think about certain things, put an intention onto something, I think it it turns out to be much better than the first choice that you had like abruptly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's one practice you return to when you feel disconnected from yourself?
It definitely has to be like being present.
Yeah.
Being present is so hard. As much as
Mm.
people
In
think,
today's world, yeah.
yeah,
So much noise.
living, or they're just, yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, I went through the day yesterday, but if I ask you like what did you do yesterday, you're like, I don't actually know. And I'm like,
You're
because you
always like,
where? No,
yeah.
we have these phones, we have these distractions, we have these vices, and when you just look at something, sometimes it's just like I'm petting my cat and I'm like paying attention to how soft
Yeah.
his fur is, how beautiful his eyes are, and I'm like, I'm here right now.
Yeah. And they feel the energy too,
Yeah.
animals.
So it's
So
just like
yeah.
feeling like you're here on Earth and you don't need to rush because it's literally going to go by so quickly. And you
Yeah.
can be thankful for everything happening to you right now, and you realize the beauty and everything. It's just like a amazing way to live.
I know. I agree. I feel like sometimes people are so fast, and like I'm guilty for that too. Sometimes like there used to be a point when I was younger, in school, like I used to rush through everything. Like everything need to be posted, everything need to be, everybody needs to know everything. Like right now I'm like the total opposite. Like yeah, I do have my podcast. Obviously I show a different side of me. But there's just a lot of things that I just keep intentional just to myself. I just don't use my phone for those things. And I feel like I'm way more fulfilled and I remember those moments like way more
Mhm.
than those ones I posted. Because it creates a sense of warmth in you, and it just is looking back, you're like, oh, this happened. I cooked this meal that day that I didn't post, and so that was delicious. And it's something as small as that, and like you said, petting your cat, like my cat's at the back. So finally, what does creating magic mean to you? Because I know you mentioned magic earlier. Like what does it mean to you right now in this moment if you were to like pick something?
Honestly, I think every part of your life
Yeah.
is magic. Like
Yeah.
if you really think about the odds of you specifically, your soul being handpicked to be put on this earth out of the infinite amount of souls that are available at a given time. You were put here to experience all these magical human emotions,
Yeah.
love, happiness, grief, like
Yeah.
all these things are so incredibly magical. You eat food that you take, like something happens in your taste buds and suddenly you're like so happy about
Yeah.
it. Or you smell something and it invokes a memory. Like, how does any of that work? Like, we're just
Yeah.
little blobs of meat going around in this like star-filled universe. And if you don't see a sense of wonder in that, you gotta get happier because that is
Yeah.
magic.
I think that's a very good way of putting it. There's a lot to life that we miss when we actually are not paying attention. So, yeah, I think it was a great conversation today. And April, I'm so glad that you were able to join me today and, take part in this wonderful, warm conversation that's much needed in this world today. And thanks so much for sharing your experiences, your life with me. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people would love listening to it as well. So, yeah, thanks for joining. And I hope to see you soon back in the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much for having me. I literally like felt like I had to beg you to put me on your show because I am such a big fan. I love when your little excerpts like come onto my Instagram, especially or my TikTok, and I'm just like, yeah, I needed to hear this today. It always finds me on the times that I need to hear it. So I love also getting reminded that you're my friend. So I'm like,
Yeah.
so nice.
Yeah. I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm so grateful that I met you. Oh my God, like time moves by so fast.
I know.
And you're one of the people I'm so grateful that I met. And I will see you next week in person. Bye. Take care. So thanks for listening to Just Real Talk. This is Ron signing off.